Coming up on this week's episode of Flashtalk, Kent State men's basketball head coach Rob Senderoff joins the show. Plus, the second edition of Dane Does, this time wrestling style. Kent State Gymnastics Coach Brice Biggin joins us to talk about the beginning of their season, and Kent State women's basketball head coach Todd Starkey sits down with me to talk about their big matchup upcoming against Ball State. All that and more coming up in a flash. Welcome into our Flash Talk studios. Dane Richardson, joined by Kent State men's basketball head coach Rob Senderoff. Coach Sendy, we always appreciate the time. And coming off a couple of nice road wins, your first few wins in MAC play against NIU and Buffalo, we really saw kind of a defensive switch, the identity you want for your team on that side of the ball specifically.
We had been a really good defensive team all throughout the season until Christmas. And after Christmas, the two games that we played at home, we really struggled on that side of the floor. So, as a program, we really watched a lot of film, and our players really focused in on that end of the court. We've had tremendous success in the games following up from that Ball State game on the defensive side of the floor, and we've won the two games on the road after that. I know you say this is being taped prior to our Western Michigan game, and it will be aired afterwards. Yeah. So we'll see how we play in the Western Michigan game, and hopefully we'll defend at that level. For this team to have success, we have to defend at a really high rate. So, hopefully we can continue that way. And then the offense, we do have some really, really good offensive players, and we will get that side going the way we were earlier in the year.
Ton of energy off the bench, whether it's gritty offensive rebounds, getting a second possession and open three off an offensive rebound or blocking a shot inside. What's been the key to Rico's success?
Yeah, his motor has been really, really good. And for our team, that's really what's impacted his play is the energy and the motor that he's played with. So, again, he missed almost his entire sophomore year. So he's really just this year starting to pick up where he left off last year. And he was starting to play well when he got injured last year. So I'm happy for him and our team. We need him. And we need him to be, he's another guy who has the ability to score. But as long as he plays with a motor, he's going to continue to get better and better. And he's starting to show that consistently. I thought against Ball State, he was one of the few guys that played incredibly, incredibly hard. And he didn't stat very well in that game, but he played really, really hard in that game. And then the Buffalo game, he had a sequence in that game, which he got a defensive rebound in traffic and then ran the court, scored a dunk in transition. And in the first half, his offensive rebounds kept us in the game. And then he finished a couple plays, got to the free throw line. We need him to continue to do what he did there in that game and keep bringing energy to the team. Everyone.
Sion Medley played well in that road trip in terms of his assist to turnover ratio was high, specifically against Buffalo, 8 assists, 1 turnover in that game. When you recruited him from St. Louis this past offseason, is that something you expected him to be?
There's a lot of guys that are combo guards, scoring guards, guys that are trying to become point guards, but he's a point guard. So that's his position. He knows how to play that position. And, he's a guy who also defensively can disrupt the other team. I thought he did that at a really high level, again, against Buffalo. I thought in the first half when we were stagnant offensively, he had 2 defensive plays where it got us going in transition that got us a lead in the first half. And then he was able to score a little bit in the second half, and like you said, 8 assists, 1 turnover, 6 rebounds. He was really disruptive to their best players and made it a tough night for them as well. So another guy, I believe in all of these guys, they'll continue to get better as they get more comfortable. We have to take care of the ball a little bit more and continue to get shots on the rim. But he'll get better offensively as the year moves on. But he's leading our team. He's competing at a really high level. I thought that second half against Buffalo was probably the best he's played since the Portland game.
What are you hoping to find out as you move really into the heart of conference play, Coach?
Yeah, we just got to keep getting better. I mean, it's a long season in league play, 18 games. So, we dropped one at home early. We picked up a couple on the road. And you just got to get better each game and hope that we can continue to stick together, compete for each other, and continue to build as we move forward in league play.
That's Kent State men's basketball head coach Rob Senderoff. Coach, we appreciate the time.
All right, thanks, Dane.
When it comes to reaching your goals, having the right support can make all the difference. That's why we trust Green Lending, Kent State Athletics' exclusive mortgage partner, to help you achieve your home ownership dreams.
Just like on the court, everyone has a role to play. With the right teammates, any dream is possible. Green Lending is here to be that support to help you make those big moves in life.
Visit greenlending.com and let Green Lending help turn your dreams into reality.
Green Lending, helping Golden Flashes achieve their biggest dreams on and off the court.
What's happening, everyone? Welcome into the second edition of Dane Does. I'm here with members of the Kent State wrestling team, Brenton Simmerman, Gunnar Havens, and assistant coach Malik McDonald. Probably going to get a little beat up wrestling these guys. Guys, you ready to go? Let's do it.
Okay, so this is called blast double. Something we do in practice every once in a while. The main things to this move is obviously your penetration step, stepping through, but your head should be lined up right in the middle of their stomach, almost up in their ribs, head up, and you're driving through, so.
For that takedown, like how do I try and prevent that?
I would just it's kind of hard to stop a blast double, have your hands down, you're moving out of the way. Hands and feet are very important to not get taken down, so. Just being ready. You want to try it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, head right here. You're cuffing both your hands on the legs.
So like that?
Yeah, but make sure you hit your knee and your head's up, head in the chest.
Head in the chest?
Yep.
And kind of grab here?
Yeah, head up though.
Head up?
Yep.
That looked great, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked good.
One more time. All
right.
Mike's holding up 3.
Another pretty basic leg attack would be a single leg. So whenever you're in your stance, usually you want to try to go for the lead leg. And whenever you take this shot, you want to try to have your head up. You want to have your backhand on top. You want to step up. You want to come up with the leg. And you want to cover on top. Usually you want to try to attack the lead leg, try to get the hands out the way. Shoot, head up, step up, drive through. You want to come off the leg, secure your takedown. Good count. But you want to try to have your leg, your head in the inside.
Head in the inside?
Yeah.
I got What did I do wrong there? A lot.
Yeah, so you got to have your head up, hips in, and that leg's gonna be your drive leg. And you wanna try to hit that knee behind my foot.
I'll try one more time.
I do it, man. Yeah.
How do you get in the zone?
Going into a wrestling match, I just always try to stay loose, stay prepared, focus on the goal at hand, but at the same time, not freak myself out or get too amped up for the match,
And what would you say is your wrestling style?
I'd say my style's changed over the years. It used to be more really aggressive. Now I kind of sit back, wait, a little bit more defensive. I'm still trying to figure it out, but that's what I have the next 2 years for.
How long have you been wrestling, and why was Kent State the place for you?
Well, this is my 12th year, started in 3rd grade. And got here because Malik reached out to me, actually. He was one of the few coaches.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm happy I chose here, though.
Yeah.
I love the school.
Top, bottom, ways you can get escapes and different points like that, different techniques. So what's the first thing you want to show me?
All right, first, the bottom position here, I'll get down. It's called referee's position. And this line right here, knees are supposed to be behind the back one, and Hands are supposed to be in the front. Or whatever side you're on, the knee is supposed to be down, and the other leg is supposed to be behind the feet. And then you get on an elbow, and the hand's supposed to be on the belly. You get your head right here, and then the whistle blows, and then you wrestle.
Okay, now I'm in this position. Obviously, this isn't advantageous, I would say, correct?
It really depends on how your style is and whether or not the other guy is good on top or bottom. Typically, you'll want bottom, get that extra point, and then you work from neutral.
Okay.
If you get held down for more than a minute, that's the riding time point. You got to fight back to get rid of that on top.
So I'm gonna try and escape from him for a good, like, maybe 20 seconds. We'll see how this goes. Shoot. Oh God. Oh God. Oh. Okay.
This hand right here. Yep. And then the other hand can be on the belly. Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm out of it. Yeah. That was quick. This is the beginning and end of my wrestling career. I'd just like to congratulate you on a win early on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, my shoe came off. Other shoe came off. Ah! Oh my God. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Both shoes came off. He's a talented wrestler. I need some work. Guys, it was a blast learning more about the sport of wrestling. I got pretty beat up, like I said, but we look forward to watching you guys the rest of the season.
For every just one more mile to your next ace on the court. When you have a sports-related injury, Cleveland Clinic is here. For our Cavaliers, our Guardians, and athletes at all levels, our sports medicine team helps keep you in the game. With expert diagnosis, personalized sports therapies, and game-changing surgeries. For every injury, for every athlete, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Here with Kent State Gymnastics head coach Brice Biggin. Coach, appreciate you joining me. Coming off your first meet of the season, taking down Wilberforce and Fisk. First off, just give me your overall thoughts on that meet.
Well, I think we looked like it was a first meet. We had a little bit of first meet jitters. We saw the girls be a little bit conservative in some areas, and I think that cost us a little bit. But at the same time, we did do some good routines. We had some girls really step up. And I think we got that first meet under our belt. So, we're going to learn some things from that and move forward in a positive direction this coming week.
First, we'll touch on Alyssa Gunn. She was fantastic in that first meet. We saw her out there. Tell us a little bit about her and what you expect from her in the rest of the season.
Yeah, Alyssa is a veteran. She's a senior. She's been competing for us. This will be her fourth year. Since she stepped onto the floor, she's been one of the kids who we look at week in and week out as really being a leader. Did a phenomenal floor routine. It has turned into probably one of our most consistent beam workers. And we've really seen her take that confidence to a new level. And so we look at her right now as certainly probably the leader of the team.
How do you think her work can help some of the younger gymnasts on your team as sort of a model for them going forward?
I think that's important that they continue to watch the demeanor and the way she carries herself, because we talk about the way you carry yourself, the confidence that you show. And when you watch Alyssa compete, you can see it in the way she carries herself, the way she performs. She's got a smile on her face all the time so that she makes it look easy.
Gabby Riley, you also liked her performance in that first meet against those two teams. So what did she do well?
Gabby is just a sophomore on the team, but she came in as a freshman and had a really good freshman year. She's got a lot of experience. Probably her main event that we saw her compete on was balance beam. which is unusual because for a freshman, that's a tough event to compete on with the nerves that go along with that event. But she was a person that we could depend on last year as a freshman. She has continued to step up. She's also really improved a lot on both vaulting and floor. So we've seen her take great steps on a number of the events, and I think with the way that she's capable of competing, she's going to be a person that we're going to turn to a lot this year as well.
Nene Alvine had a nice, I believe she placed first in the vault against Wilberforce and Fiss, another sophomore. So what has she been doing well early in the season that propelled her to that early season success?
The biggest thing is Nene's healthy this year. You know, she's had some little things that have really held her back the last couple years. We know the talent that she has and that she shows. I mean, she is an amazing gymnast to watch. For her, it's learning how to trust herself, learning how to believe in herself. The talent's there. The mental part is the part that we work on a lot with her. And we saw her take some really nice steps. And obviously, you saw that both in vault and beam. She's going to be another person that we're going to look to on bars this week. And she's also a great floor performer for us. So, you know, she's probably going to end up doing all 4 events for us this weekend.
Against the Mountaineers, what are you expecting this Thursday?
Obviously, West Virginia is always a good team year in and year out. We had a little bit of a disappointing off meet last year against them, and we felt like we really had an opportunity to kind of win that meet. So I think we have a little extra incentive going down there. Yes, they're going to be a good team, but we really feel like we are too. And so, you know, we're not going to go in there feeling like we can't win that meet. That should be a lot of confidence. It should be a lot of fun. It's always great going against good competition.
What are you expecting going into MAC play this year? I know you still have West Virginia first, but then you get Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan. So tell me about your expectations.
We take a lot of pride in the history that we've had with the program here and the success that we've seen throughout the years. But the MAC is getting more difficult every year. Like, the teams are stepping up. The gymnasts are getting better. They're getting more consistent. So it's a battle week in and week out, and we know that we need to be able to continue to bring our best foot forward every week. So, but at the same time, the expectations never change. You know, you expect to be on top. You certainly want to be on top, and the girls work that way. So we're expecting a good season.
Gymnastics at West Virginia this Thursday. That's Kent State Gymnastics head coach Brice Biggin. Coach, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Coming up this week in Kent State Athletics, brought to you by KSU Ticks. Kent State Women's Hoops has a huge home matchup tonight at 7 p.m. against Ball State. You can catch that game on ESPN Plus and ESPN Cleveland. Tomorrow, Kent State Gymnastics travels for a dual meet at West Virginia at 7 p.m. On Friday, Kent State Wrestling has their last home meet of the season, taking on SIU Edwardsville at 7 p.m. inside the Mack Center. On Saturday, Kent State Men's and Women's Track and Field has a home meet in the Judd Logan Memorial, and then Kent State Men's and Women's Basketball has a doubleheader. The women tip off first against Western Michigan at 1 p.m., and then the men follow against Miami, Ohio right after at 3 p.m. And wrapping up on Tuesday, Kent State Men's Basketball returns to action, traveling to Savage Arena to take on the Toledo Rockets at 7 p.m. As always, you can buy your tickets at ksutix.com. If you want more information on your favorite Flashes teams, visit kentstatesports.com or visit the Go Flashes app. We'll be back with more right after this.
Today, the world could use a little more understanding. Understanding nurtured by shared values. We come together at Kent State. Different dreams, different viewpoints, united by purpose. Preparing to make a difference in our divided world. Wherever you are in your life's journey, come learn with us. Begin at Kent State.
Golden Flashes fans, this is men's basketball coach Rob Senderoff. At Kent State, we're building champions both on and off the court. In order to keep our winning tradition on the court, we need your support of the Blue and Gold Collective. Now more than ever, we need you to be our sixth man.
Flash family, make sure to play the Blue and Gold Collective 50-50 raffle. And when you play, the Golden Flashes win.
Support the Blue and Gold Collective and help our Flashes soar.
Joined on Flash Talk by Kent State Women's Basketball head coach Todd Starkey. Coach, appreciate you joining me. Start of a new season here on Flash Talk, but you're well into conference season by now, coming off your first conference road win at Ohio. What did you think of that victory?
Yeah, tale of two halves, obviously. It was a battle in the first half. I thought we were a little bit sloppy, had way too many turnovers. Definitely cleaned that up in the second half, played with more intensity. defense was much better. And then obviously when you make 10 threes and a half, it certainly will help. So I was really pleased with the way our team responded after halftime. And Ohio's always a tough place to get a win, and was very satisfied coming back after that.
Your team started the third quarter on a 17-0 run, 5 straight threes to begin the third quarter. What was the message at halftime, and what did you think prompted that big explosion at the start of the third?
Yeah, stop missing your shots. No, it was I think the thing that really kind of got us going was our defense early on. I thought we played with much more energy. We started switching up defenses a little bit. I thought that was able to confuse them some and force them into some tough shots. And then we also turned them over a little bit, and we're able to get really good looks in the open court. So most of the threes that we took, I think we were 10 for 17 in the second half from 3. I thought most of those 17 threes were really good looks for us, and then we have very capable shooters, and when they see it go in, I think it just fuels them.
Freshman Journey Hildebrand didn't play in the first couple of conference games, but played at Toledo, hit a 3 in a run in the fourth quarter against the Rockets late in that game, then 5 threes against Ohio, 15 points, including 3 in a row in the first quarter. What has prompted her emergence, especially in the offensive end?
It's just opportunity. I think it just takes time for freshmen to when you get to conference play as a freshman, it's just a different animal, and you kind of need some time to see it happen, understand. I mean, the power of the scouting report is exponentially higher. You know, I mean, everybody knows your stuff. Everybody's seen a body of work. And so it takes a little bit for freshmen to adjust to conference play typically, and I think Journey just need a little bit of time with that, and now she has got some confidence and is once again a very capable shooter, as you can see, and so excited to see that happen.
And what do you think of your team's overall effort and performance on the defensive side of the ball through your first 4 conference games? Obviously 3-1's a strong record. It's where you want to be, but what is your overall assessment on the defensive side of the ball, Coach?
Very average. I think we have a lot of room for growth. And I think that's a bad thing, but also a good thing at the same time. We're finding ways to win games against tough opponents. Defensively, at times, we look and show what we're capable of, but the consistency of our effort, our focus, needs to get better. And so, once again, not a bad thing to be a good team overall and find ways to win and still have a significant margin for improvement.
Why do you think this team has been much better at home this season?
Sometimes it's just advantageous scheduling. Sometimes it's just a team's comfort level at home. And, so I think and then, sometimes it's just a rhythm thing. We need to get better at going on the road and getting wins. I think the Ohio win was a step in the right direction for that. But we've got one of the better opponents we play all season coming in here in Ball State this Wednesday, and it'll be a great test for us to see really where we are.
What are you expecting from them? I know they're very versatile, kind of a different group than last year, but some of the same key players as well.
Yeah, maybe the most experienced team I've ever coached against. I mean, most of their players are either fifth-year transfers or have been at Ball State for 4 years, and it's a very veteran ball club. Obviously, coached by somebody who knows the MAC, knows us well, very familiar opponent, and so I just think it's going to be a great test for us. I'm not putting too much on this game, and nor should our players, other than the fact that we really want to play well at home against a really good team. And I think at the end of the day, the biggest thing is we'll come out of this game on Wednesday really having a good understanding of where we are mid-January, and from there we can continue to grow and build.
How important are those players that were a part of the stretch run last year going to be in this game against a veteran team against Ball State?
You would think that that would pay dividends. It's also a team that got swept by them in the regular season last year, so you got to take with the good with the bad and all that type of thing. So Ball State has proven themselves over the last few years of being one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the conference every single year, and that's no different this year. It's certainly we're picked as the favorites for a reason, and we're going to have to play some of, if not our best basketball of the year to get the win.
That's Golden Flashes women's basketball head coach Todd Starkey. Coach, we appreciate the time.
Thanks. Go Flashes.
That'll do it for this week's episode of Flash Talk for our entire GFTV studio. For Ethan Lachinsky, Justin Spots, I'm Dane Richardson saying good night and go Flashes.
As you know, Kent State Athletics, our basketball team has historically been a huge part of our athletic department. We have a winning tradition. We always bring a great game. But in today's day and age, the basketball game itself isn't going to entice the average fan. We really need to come over the top. We need to do these exciting things like they do in professional sports. And without sponsors or partners like Ken Ganley, we wouldn't be able to afford to do like tonight, the esports night with the Ken Ganley game room. Also being able to do the $10,000 putt at halftime that they're supporting. So those types of things help us advertise and get out into the community and maybe reach people who are not just the average basketball fan. They also help us out off the court. So many of our faculty, our staff, and our coaching know that they can go to Ken Ganley Chevrolet, get themselves a vehicle in a short amount of time without having to shop everywhere. They're so important to us on so many levels that we're just so grateful that they're a part of our family, and I don't know how we would live without them.